Give everyone a minute to come back. Oh yeah, we see the slides.
Yes.
Cool.
Everyone.
I'll get started on time, so we make sure that we also finish on time. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our session about engaging students during virtual learning. We are the Gear Achievers of South King County. So we serve about 5,000 students in 4 school districts south of Seattle. We are in 14 middle schools and high schools currently. Our cohort is in 8th and 9th grade. My name is Kristen Yip. I'm the STEM Curriculum and Programs Manager of Gear Achievers out of University of Washington. I was a middle school and high school science teacher, and now I get to find fun and exciting ways to engage our students in STEM inside and outside of the classroom. And then I will introduce my partner. She's one of our site coordinators. She's awesome. She won't tell you this, but in her office hours and sessions, she regularly has over 70 students join every week. So I'll let her introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Chau. I am the site coordinator at the Renton School District. I am in 2 schools right now at McKnight Middle School and Hazen High School. We're in our 3rd year, and so we're in that transition phase. And so at the middle school, I have about 280 students, and at the high school, almost double that, about 477. What's unique about our high school is that one of the middle schools in our district didn't qualify for the grant, but now that they're transitioning into the high school, I have about 280 that's from the new school. So they're new to the group, and so they're getting all these new resources. And so it's pretty fun and exciting to be able to engage with our students. And then what's a fun fact is that I was a Gear Up student when Gear Up started back in the Renton School District many, many years ago.
Awesome. Yeah, so this is our agenda for the day. So the objective, we have 2 objectives to tell you about the different types of engagement Gear Up Achievers have explored during this time. So the programs that we've created around virtual learning, ways we've utilized like office hours, clubs, things like that to engage our students. And then also to practice using some of the online platforms that increase student engagement. We'll be using Pear Deck, Nearpod. We'll be using Slido and Padlet also. So I encourage you during this time to maybe use your phone to open up these things and participate, or maybe open up another screen and participate. We'll be definitely showing you some ways that we're engaging students and making these virtual learning sessions more fun and exciting. So first up, we'll talk about the Husky STEM Club. It's a program that we created around virtual learning and STEM, and then how to utilize office hours using these different platforms. And then we'll definitely leave some time at the end for questions. We'll do an idea dump. So we have over 100 participants here, and I'm sure everyone has done something that has worked during this time, and we would love to get all those ideas out. So to begin with, we're going to do a Slido. We're going to do 2 polls. So if you just open it up, keep it open. There'll be 2 separate questions. First question is, in one word, how would you describe your experience engaging students online? So I will open up this Slido. You can use the QR code and scan it in order to get to the session, or you can go to slido.com, and then the session number is 64431. So I encourage you to join us in participating in our poll and describe your experience engaging students in one word. Yes, definitely tough.
Yeah. It can be very challenging. I agree. Just trying to get students engaged.
Yep. Also very frustrating. I hear you, Emma. exhaustion. Got some fun and okays though. Definitely will be hearing from you later, hopefully.
Hi.
Hi, Chloe.
For one, that's not my daughter.
Oh.
Usually Chloe, my daughter, joins in on my sessions and the kids love it because they're like, oh, it's another person. I made her go outside the room for this one.
Hopeful, that's good. Fun if they join, yeah. Definitely challenging getting the students to join. Here you have the lonely. It's really hard when you're kind of just talking to blank screens when no one comes.
Yes. I get about 2 faces.
All right, I'm gonna move to the next question then. Thank you for so many of you joining. Again, I encourage you to practice using these platforms. Maybe it's something that you might want to do with your students or with your online sessions. So the next question I have is, what do you think is your biggest challenge in engaging students during this time? So this one doesn't have to be one word. Oh, sorry, I will definitely try to speak louder. Our speakers aren't that great here. So what do you think is your biggest challenge in engaging students during this time? You doesn't have to be one word, be a sentence, but let us know what has been challenging for you.
Yeah, technology is a big issue for our students too, because some of them use hotspots, and at some point of the month they run out of bandwidth or data, and so it's really hard to get them engaged. Attendance, also a big issue that we're learning.
Yep. Lots of attendance, meeting creativity levels.
They are drained. I agree. They're on the camera or on their computers all day, every day. And so how do we get them out of that?
Internet access, yes, definitely a difficult one. Lack of confidence. Technology doesn't work, yep. Awesome, everyone. So that was Slido. It's a great way to make word clouds, kind of get quick input from everyone who's in the session. And if you haven't used it before, it's also free. So thank you for your engagement in that. I will move on to our Husky STEM Club. So the why of this Husky STEM Club, in spring when COVID happened, everything went virtual. We had to cancel 6 weeks of our summer STEM camps, and we wanted to reach students in the summer somehow, but wasn't sure how. And we also kind of had hit this wall where we just felt like we were very disconnected from our students. Not all were showing up to virtual sessions. Kind of felt like there was this black hole of communication. What are our students doing? What's difficult for them? How do we do something fun with them too during this time of pandemic and being stuck at home and not being able to see your friends? So we created these weekly STEM challenges. And we posted them on our social media. So we used platforms like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram to post these things out. And then we wanted basically to find a way to okay, how do we reach our students in STEM? And then how do we get things to them that they can kind of play and tinker with while doing virtual learning? right? How do we create some more hands-on fun experiences for our students? And that's where this whole idea of STEM kits came through. We wanted to purchase these kits that like they can play with at home, play with their siblings, build and engineer, and basically just have something to do with their hands, since they were missing a lot of that in their science classes. And so we created the Husky STEM Club around this idea of like STEM challenges and STEM kits. So basically, if they participate in one of our weekly STEM challenges, we sent them a free STEM kit, a Husky STEM Club welcome letter, and an official Husky STEM Club membership card. Basically saying, hey, you're part of this group now. We will post your challenges, the things that you make. You can see other students' challenges that they make. You can get free stuff that you can play with at home and be a part of this club. They also had opportunities to keep doing more and more challenges and also keep receiving more and more kits. So for every 3 challenges that a student would do, they would receive another kit. And then also invitations to our Husky STEM Club events. And I'll talk more about that in a second. And also, sorry, I didn't say this before, but please, if you have questions, to put it in the chat, we'll be monitoring that throughout. So this is an example of what I would send out to our site coordinators. In the summer, we did weekly just because, you know, they weren't in school. Maybe they had a little bit more time to do these challenges. So we had weekly challenges in the summer. And then for the school year, we moved to monthly STEM challenges. So this is an example of what I would send our site coordinators. And this is what we did this month. Our October STEM challenge was use any materials to build a bridge and see how long you can make it. Students could either post on their social media and tag us on it, or they can email it to me. Either way, like we would get it out on our social media. And then we also have created a website around this that students can go look for that new Husky STEM challenge, see some pictures that we posted. We also are posting articles with student quotes. So it's just it's a lot of ways of trying to get the information out there. These are the types of challenges that we've done. It is definitely challenging trying to think of new things to do every single week and then now every single month. So if you definitely need more ideas, feel free to email me. But we've done some catapults. We've done some outdoorsy things like ecosystem collages, outdoor scavenger hunts. We've done a lot of engineering build ones, like build the tallest tower, or build something that flies, or use a cereal box and build something fun with it. We've also done simpler ones like draw an invention that solves a problem. Our goal is to create it broad enough that students can use whatever they have at their house and not limit it to you know, materials that you have to necessarily buy. These are some examples of student projects. Our musical instrument one was quite the hit, and I just love seeing all those. Our bridges have come in this month. Our first month of the school year was write your name with material fallen from outside. So we got a lot of beautiful names, and it was a great way to kind of know our students again. So far, we have 42 students in the club. And then these are our STEM kits. So these were purchased by our main Gear Up program here at University of Washington. All these kits are around $20. So make sure, you know, if you decide to do something like this, your kits are in the price range that allows them to keep it. Anything more than that, right, it has to be returned to the program. So yeah, we have given out over 45 STEM kits to students. We've gotten videos of them playing with them and making them, so that's also been awesome. Yes, Gear Up, we also ask our staff to do them too, and site coordinators to do them, because, you know, students really love to see what our, you know, what their adults are doing, what they can make. And I also like to make mine as examples of like the lowest bar you can possibly hit for these. But yeah, it's been good. We also do unboxing videos and post those on our social media. So every time we get a new kit, we'll do some kind of like, oh, look, we got a new kit in. Let's see what's in the box, and we'll build it. So like, for example, I made the robot. So yeah, it's pretty fun. We find every opportunity to post this on our Instagram and share with students that, hey, these are the things that you can get, and these are the things that come with your membership. And you can earn more and more if you become a member and keep doing things. We have some higher tier ones. So since you can get a free kit every 3 that you participate in, we kind of bought some more complicated ones that take more time to build, are a little bit more difficult. So yeah, that's our STEM kits. And I like to do a broad range of them. So not stick with one type. So not just like engineering, or not just science, or not just like chemistry, but some biology ones. So it's been good. And we've also gotten input from students about what kind of kits they want to, and take that into heart and made those commitments to purchase those. A lot of these kits were bought online. STEMfinity.com is one that we purchased from a lot. I can't think of the other one right now, but once I think about it, I will place it in the chat. So we also want to expand our Husky STEM Club. Now that we've gotten way more members, we decided to hold virtual STEM Club events every month. So we're going to bring in some guest speakers from our community, all STEM related. We'll have free prizes for students who join. We'll play games where they can win more STEM kits. And then we'll also have more information sessions for parents on STEM pathways and coursework. So these events will happen at night, and they'll be geared towards like students bringing their families to do something hands-on, something fun, have a guest speaker, and learn about STEM careers. Yes, Reggie, student participation broke down by race. So if you know a little bit about our South King County is very diverse. I will say with our Husky STEM Club members, 2 are white, and all the rest are are students of color. I'm not quite sure the breakdown specifically, so I don't really want to speak specifically about numbers, but I do know that our participation is broad. So thank you for that question. It is a good question, because a lot of times it's like, do these things only reach a certain number of students, a certain type of students? And I think with our site coordinators' help too, and them building relationships and then giving this information out, we really are able to reach some of the students that we don't necessarily reach regularly with STEM clubs. Sorry. Are there any questions about Husky STEM Club other than those before we move on? I also will have my email up at the end too, so if you have any other questions, feel free to email me. Not, I'm gonna move to Hong Yen.
Did you want me to share screen? I think
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. Hi again, everyone. Let me present this to you. So I'll talk about virtual learning tools that we have been using with our students. And so in the spring, I used Pear Deck, and now we've transitioned over to Nearpod because our district had bought a Nearpod license. So a little bit about both. There's pros and cons of each. And so both of them, I do my presentations in Google Slides, and then I would then convert it over using an add-on that's in the Google Slides to use Pear Deck or Nearpod. And so you can see the differences. One uses Google Slides with PDF or with PDF, and then one just does the Google Slides. And Nearpod, you'll experience later that you can give your students a code or a link for them to enter, whereas Pear Deck, you have to get them to join peardeck.com and then put the code in. And then for the reporting, you can figure out who attended your session and what the students inputted from your questions that you can download to a report. So Nearpod, it downloads as a PDF, and then in Pear Deck, you can download it as a Google Sheet. And then both of them, they're allowing question types and activities for students, so that way you can get more student engagement. They're both live or student paced, so you can select that. And then they're both very good with Google Classrooms. They're very adaptable. So for Nearpod, there's a lesson library that you can choose from. So other teachers have done Nearpod exercises. And so if you don't have time, you can just go scroll through the library and figure out what other lessons you want to teach them. There's also a collaboration board and Nearpod, links with Canvas and Schoology. So if you use those tools for your learning management systems, you can do that. And then for Pear Deck, the slides can actually be saved as a Google document for students to review and take notes on. And then there's also games that are associated with each activity. So in Pear Deck, what we did was flashcard factory, as we'd had like different words that students would either one person would draw and one person would write in the definition. So it was really fun for them. So let's say scholarship, like some people would draw like some students would draw like a money sign, and then some students would define it as free money for college. And then today we're actually going to do a time to climb. So it's similar to Kahoot in Nearpod. So it's a fun tool and engaging games for the students. And so they always get really excited when I play this game for them. Okay, so for distance learning, what I've done is office hours. We did weekly office hours in the spring.
It's just perfect for him.
And then, so this year with the middle school and high school, I've had over about 100 students in attendance. So it's pretty fun to see all the students engaging. So each week we talk about a different topic. And so usually for the first week, I talk about high school success. So what students can do in school. So we talked about extracurricular activities and things that they can do now that the sports aren't in session. So then we have fun games with that too. Introduction to STEM careers. And so we have a group of undergraduates at UW. They're called the Society for Women Engineers. And they are going to do an introduction to different STEM careers and different fields that they can go into. Third week, we talk about college access and what different college activities there are, and give them like a virtual college tour. And then for the fourth week, usually we do career speakers. And so below you can see I used to work at Children's, and so I had Dr. Marcus Bose, who's a pediatric dermatologist, come talk to the students, and they loved hearing about what doctors do, pediatricians do. And then I also had Ms. T. Tran, who is a vice president of Micron Technologies, come talk about engineering and how she got to where she is now. And so another tool that the district has bought is called Nepris. And so nepris.com, you can go to it, but it's a platform for all the professionals. It's a network and people sign up. And so it's a database platform where you can allow to search for different types of fields, different demographics, male, female, Latino, African-American, and just filter out what you need and what you want the students to hear from. And so we use them for guest speakers. There's also project monitoring. So if you have a class and you want them to come as a panel, industry panel, you can do that too. So it's a unique tool. Again, with virtual college tours and fairs, now that we're all virtual, so we send students information so that the families can log in as well. So partnerships I talked about earlier with the Society for Women Engineers. So every second Friday, they'll come to talk to the students. And then they're also setting up this Forward with SWE. It's a mentoring program for freshman students, just to get them engaged in high school and learning about what different engineering fields there are and how they can help engage students. They're also at the middle school level, they're going to do a STEM club for the students where they are going to do 1 or 2 learning events. And then they have a fun event for them, and then they'll do a challenge per month, just like what Kristen does for Husky STEM Club. And then for our middle school students, we have Tech Bridge Girls at Home. And so every Thursday they'll log in with a session and there's a mentor there, and then they assemble together the STEM kits that get sent home every week. And so families and students can work on it together during the session. So pretty fun for the students. And so how do I get so much students to attend? So I collaborate with the classes. And so we have Avid class in our middle school and high school. And so I go to their classes. So in the high school, I go Monday, Wednesday. In the middle school, I go Tuesday, Thursday. And so just so that they can see who I am. And then I get the teachers to, on Fridays, have them come to my office hours instead of hosting, or instead of doing another Zoom session for their class. And so they make an assignment out of it. And so they do questions like one moment from class, Miss Chau did this, or like, who did you hear from? What made it engaging? And so the students type that in and then turn it into a lesson as an assignment, sorry. And then I partnered up with our middle school counselor just to do guidance lessons for the students. And so for the 8th graders, we're trying to prep them for the high school because we're all virtual now. And so just giving them tips and bits about what to expect in high school. And we'll cover on registration and all the different classes that they can take. And then we do monthly newsletters to our families. So we do a topic like this previous month, we did extracurricular activities. And then this upcoming month, we're going to do grades matter. And so it just gets the parent and student understanding of what school is about. And so, and attendance, like you said earlier, it's a big issue right now. So how do we address that and get families more involved? And then I also do upcoming events. So parents and students can know what to expect in the upcoming months. And then we use Skyward. So I send out email reminders to the students and their families that way. And then for the activity on Fridays, I use Nearpod. And then there's also the student pace version. And so I send those links to the teachers afterwards. And so for students who are unable to attend due to family obligations or anything like that, they can still do the activity. And so for Fridays, I do it during their individual learning time. So from 1 to 1:30, individual support time where they can talk to a teacher or come to the session so it doesn't interrupt their class time. We also have a new tool that we've done for our tutoring. It's through Microsoft Bookings. And so I make a Bitly account. And so we did that. And then so that way it's easier for students to just click on to book a session with our tutors. And so we have tutorings Monday through Thursday. Thursdays is a little bit longer. We have an extra hour because we have a tutor that can only log in after 3:30. And so we have that. And so we have 3 tutors right now. We've just opened it up to the high school students this week. And so we expect to see more demand that way. And so this is what it looks like. And so students can select a time and date. And so as you can see here, they book a time. We allow for 15 minutes, but if students need more time, then we can tell them if no one signed up after them, they can stay longer or just sign up another time and book for 2 sessions. And so they can reschedule or they cancel the booking. And so once they book the session, they get a confirmation email like this with who their tutor is and what time. And then they get a Zoom link with the passcode in case Zoom needs it. And then they also get a reminder email a day before their session and then 30 minutes before. Because our students forget. And so one downside of this is if students put in their wrong email address, they don't get a confirmation email. So sometimes you get a bounce back. And so you have to send it to them personally instead of having the system send it out to them. Okay, so now we're going to launch Nearpod. Nearpod. So if you can join me, so what we can do is either click join.nearpod.com with this code, or I can put this in the chat so that way, oops, sorry. So that way you can just link into it. Okay, so usually I put this link in there and students will click on it. Okay, whoops. Put a new share. 4 students, 4 participants have entered. So can you guys see this? So this is my Google Classroom. And so I have topics for the week.
Encourage you to join just so you can see it kind of on the student end before you try it out on the teacher side of it. So yeah,
open up in a new browser so you can join us, and then you can still see this on Zoom. Thanks. And so I have flags here, and students can click on it. And then we have booking for appointments, like I talked about earlier, so they can click on this for tutoring, and then upcoming events and whatnot. So we have 31 participants. How did I decorate my classroom? So in Google Slides, and so you make it into Google Slides first. And then I did a Bitmoji, and so you have to do it on your phone. So type in Bitmoji, and then you'll take a picture of yourself, and then you can change, like features that you want for your Bitmoji. It's pretty cute. Students love it. Okay, 44 participants. Let's get 50%, guys. I have my students get at least 75% before I proceed. So we have about 108 participants. And so if you guys can, again, I will share with you the link in here. All you have to do is click on the Share Nearpod link, and then you'll get right into it. So this is not an actual Google Classroom. This is me putting my Google Classroom onto Nearpod so that we can present. But yeah, there's different types of Google Classrooms that you can make. It's pretty fun. Okay. All right. 55. Hooray! We made 50%, guys. Thank you. All right. So these are the questions that I asked my students, or I made it so that way it's more towards the group. But so I do a question. So in Pear Deck, what we did was you do this, and then you do an add-on. And then on the side, the students will be able to select an answer. But for Nearpod, you have to go through another slide. And so if you can just fill that in. West Coast is the best coast. So we're here at West, and so personal preference. So you can also hide the students' names like this over here in case you have specific questions that you want to keep it anonymous. And so, yeah. Okay. Perfect. And then there's enable where you can share so that students can see, or that you can see on your end. Okay, perfect. Okay. So what do you enjoy the most about your job? And so here you're able to fill in the answer. That's pretty fun. So you get to even select the time limit for your students. And so 30 seconds, if you can just type in a little bit about what you enjoy most about your job. And then you can see the participation right here as well. So some answers we have so far: helping others, making a difference in a kid's life, watching your students grow, working for student success. Oh, so amazing. Encouraging students to pursue their goals and making plans to get started. Engaging with students and families. Great ideas, guys. Thank you for sharing. Yeah. So you can also press the share so that way students can see on your end. Great, thank you so much. Okay, moving on. So then I do like, so we'll talk about different types, so in this particular presentation, I talked about scholarships. And so I say, why apply? Many scholarships don't get enough applicants. And so not many students know about that. And so we want to emphasize that to the students. And so this means there's money left over that could be yours. If you don't apply, you're guaranteed to miss out. So taking the time to apply shows that you care and are deserving. So as you know, like scholarships, there's so many out there. And so not every student takes advantage of it. And so we want to emphasize that with our students, just to remind them that there's a scholarship out there for everyone. So we talk about different types of scholarships. So there's need-based, scholarships that are given to students who show financial need, such as the FAFSA and WASPA. And then there's merit-based, where they're awarded to students with exceptional skills. And then we do a true or false. Scholarships aren't worth the effort. And then we'll let them select true or false, and then give them an answer. And then give an explanation of why it's false. Like scholarship applying is like applying for a job. So the more time you spend on it, the better your chances are, right? And so it's such as like if you earn $50 an hour for your efforts, depending on how much money you get for that scholarships. And so they're definitely worth your time. Okay, question for you. How many scholarships have your students received? So this is a poll. So there's lots of options in Nearpod that you can choose. Nice. It's a good number out there. Perfect. So 15% of you said 5, 14 said 40 or more scholarships. That's amazing. So our students are still in the 3rd year. So we're trying to get all the resources that we can get. So when they get there to really apply for scholarships, we'll have that available for them. And then we talk about SAT prep, right? Right now, it's a difficult situation because SAT is not required, but always good to teach them vocab words. And so each week I would present 5 words and explain it to them. And then the week after, we would ask them this question. So let's see, do you guys know what this is? What does brevity mean? Okay, perfect. Most of you got it correct. Brief or terse. Okay, and then we also provide them with different STEM careers and an explanation of what it is. And so usually true or false is easier for the students. And so we did a landscape architect designs public parks, walkways, and gardens in the community. They would choose. And then we give an explanation of what a landscape architect is. And so they design parks and outdoor spaces or campuses, facilities, businesses, and other open space. They create plan and investigate costs, coordinate different arrangements of existing proposed land features. And so just telling them a little bit about what each profession does. And then we also provide a salary range, a medium base of about $69,000, and the entry level of education. So this one, it requires a bachelor's degree, but we also provide associate degree or trade degrees as well. So schools in the area, we have Washington State University or University of Washington that has this major. Okay, so next we are going to play a game, Time to Climb. And so I want to let you know that I don't know how to lower the volume or turn it off. And so you might want to lower your volume on your speakers just in case. And so in the spirit of Halloween coming up, we are going with a Halloween theme. Oh, sound enabled, I can turn it off. Hooray, okay. Continue. So now let's join. And these are questions you do know as a Gear Up staff or a school employee.
These games are really great ways to make your sessions really fun and exciting for students, ways to keep them engaged in it. All the polls interspersed like throughout the presentations are always good ways to, keep them in your presentation. And of course, they always love these games.
Yeah. And so you remember, you have to select it really fast because it's scored by correct answer and time, just like Kahoot. Fair warning, everyone. We have a lot of competitive students, and so it's really fun to see them and get excited. Okay, 43 players. Okay, last chance. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna start. If it lets me. Okay. So there's 8 questions overall. Okay. First question, what does NCEP stand for? Hooray! Oh, should we show names? Okay. Jay's on top. It's Nearpod is free for the first 30 days. And I don't remember what the price is. We had it with our district. Okay. Number 2, where was the last Gear Up West conference held? Oh, thanks, Jackie. About $100 per license. Next question, what is an unallowable cost? Oh, Kirsten's in the lead.
Unfair.
I know, Kirsten, stop playing. She knows these answers. Okay, so how many states have Gear Up funding? Oh, they're allowed at your district? Nice.
Oh.
Not here. So Gear Up staff can help students with yes. If we do a student link, a student paste, they can do this on their own time. They just won't be able to compete with other students. State partnerships grants are the same? Yes or no? Moving on up. Let's see.
I think the visuals on this are really cute.
Yeah.
Watching your little figure try to beat everyone.
There's 4 different that you can do. So I think there's like a snow one, a mountain one, an underwater one, and this Halloween one that you can do. What virtual tools did we show you today?
What's sad is I helped create these and I'm middle of the pack. How did that happen?
What does Gear Up stand for? It's like trying to get students to know what Gear Up for is also really hard. They're like, huh? What? Yes, agreed, Kelly. Perfect. And Gao, you have won. Hooray! So yes. This awesome. Well, I hope you guys got to figure out all the different tools that we can do, and Nearpod is pretty cool. Okay. Okay.
So
Kristen,
for our last little time, we're just going to do a little idea dump, maybe a little Q&A, just for you to share. Also, like, what are some things that have worked for you during this time? Just a second, trying to find the right screen to share. So this is another platform, Padlet. It's a kind of a better, like, kind of discussion board type platform. So what kind of engagement strategies have you found to be successful during this time? You can click on the QR code, or I will place this in the chat. Oops. You want to click on that. And home visits, definitely. One of our districts have started home visits to get college bound out there also, or porch visits, actually, yes. They have been doing porch visits. Socially distanced, mask wearing porch visits. Yeah, incentives are great. Opportunities with siblings and families, like making our events family related, family oriented, and also just encouraging them to build their STEM kits with their siblings has been great. We've gotten a lot of pictures of older siblings playing with their younger ones. I didn't mention this earlier, but our kits, most of us in our Gear Up Achievers program, we live in all the neighborhoods that we're serving. So it's easy for us to kind of just drop the kits at people's front door. But if that's not something that's doable for you, you can always just mail them. But we also like to drop them off, say hi, take a little picture of them with their new kit. So. People said student leadership teams, texting parents. Yes, definitely. Phone calls, a lot of those too. Bi-weekly raffle for engagement and activities and leaderboard with top participants. Excellent. Yeah. For our events or office hours, a lot of our site coordinators also do raffles. So give out prizes, swag, all that as incentives to come to office hours.
So where do we find virtual college and career fairs? So our CTE department, our Career and Technical Education department, sends it out to us, but I can show you a few. I sent it to our families, and so let me pull it up and give it to you.
Online game night. Yeah, definitely. If whoever put that up there, maybe if you want to explain a little bit more. Love this sharing about each other, using a lot of character strong resources to learn more about our students and allow them to learn more about us. We brought back our Gear Up alumni students from 2017 cohort, talked to them about college. Awesome, yeah. It's awesome. We try to find a lot of Gear Up alumni to come back and talk to our students for panels.
Yeah, so for our next week, we have a career speaker who was also in the Gear Up cohort that I was in come talk to us. And so pretty exciting. Okay, so I've added in 2 links for the college fairs. Guess I didn't copy over when I copied and pasted the information.
Definitely want everyone puts their resources up and ideas up. If you have any questions for anything that we've shared today, feel free to drop it in the chat and we'll try to get those answered in the last 8-9 minutes that we have. Again, thank you for engaging with us today. I know the afternoon sessions are always a little difficult, so.
So I also just shared a career expo series that was sent to us. And so this is careers in science and STEM. So it's pretty cool if you want to take a look at it.
I'm also going to drop a link to our slides. So if you want to take a look at those, that is also in the chat. Oh, that's fun. So the game night, they do breakout rooms. You kind of play like Pictionary, Scrabble, Jeopardy.
Oh, nice. Thanks, everyone. I hope you had fun and learned a few things to do with your students. And it's great to do it this way too, because then you can actually see them, because sometimes when you're not a classroom teacher, it's hard to get them to come and see your face. And so since we're all virtual this year too, it's like you can't pull them out of classes to talk to them anymore. And so this is nice. And then I also, the tutoring, what happens is we also have a Zoom and then we have breakout sessions for our tutors. And so I like to come in there and just chat with my students just to check in how they're doing and then send them to their breakout rooms. And so it's a good time to catch up and see if they need help with anything or how I can be a resource to them during these times. And so they really open up when it's a smaller session instead of in the big classrooms.
I also forgot to mention, I also pop into our site coordinators' office hours or clubs or after school sessions. Anytime they have students, I pop in and talk about the Husky STEM Club. And it's just like a great way to, for me to get it out there too and not just use social media. I get some, actual FaceTime with students to tell them about this club that, is kind of faceless and just out there. And it's a great way to recruit students on top of social media. Yeah, definitely posting on their Canvas pages too, getting the information out there in many ways as possible.
Yeah, I was debating on if I need to do a Canvas page or not. I didn't want to bombard them too much, but once we get going, if we're virtual, I think I might need to. It's a new learning tool I've yet to learn.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. There's so many tools out there. Recommend just trying them out and then finding the ones that work for you. And ones that you can use consistently so that students also get used to it and know how to use those things.
So Nathan, what is a Canvas page? So depending on your school and their district, it's a learning management system. So it's either Google Classroom, Canvas, Schoology. So it's just a tool for teachers to teach their classes online. So our middle schools are still doing Google Classrooms, but then our high schools are doing Canvas. And so in the guidance lessons that I'm going to work with the counselor on, we're going to teach them. So for the 2 trimesters, we're going to do Google Classroom so that they know how to use it in their current school. And then for the 3rd trimester, we're going to switch over to Canvas so they can learn how to do that. So that way, when they get to high school, they'll understand it a little more and not be a confused freshman.
I just want to highlight that science supplies delivered to students. That's actually a great idea. We have some carryover, and so I have these STEM mini grants that teachers can apply for. And one of those ideas is, if you have experiments that you want students to actually do live with you online, we can deliver all those supplies to them so that you can actually do something with them in class. Another idea is for our Husky STEM Club events, some of our guest speakers will be STEM arts activists. So not only are they like grad school STEM people, but they also do art and activism. And then, how do we create things with our students during the events so we can send them out supplies, and during our event, we'll do like a build together or make some art together. So just any way we can get materials to students and then do something with them hands-on is probably my top priority. Um, so with our STEM kits, someone's asking about the budget. It's a little hard to say because we do have a lot of students in our cohort and it's open to anyone. We probably only have about like 5 new participants every single week. So that is quite a bit of STEM kits that you have to purchase. I think for us, we've probably purchased about $2,000 worth of STEM kits, and we still have a lot left. And if your budget isn't up there, maybe you don't do every 3 kits, they get one. Maybe you do every 5 kits, they receive another kit. Or maybe they have to do a challenge and come to an event in order to get their first one. So there are ways that you can tweak that. Some of our kits are actually only like $12. So there are cheaper ones that you can purchase out there, especially depending on the age of your students. Some of the ones for like lower middle school are definitely more cost effective. And I'm also always perusing the internet for like deals. Like someone has 30% off, that's when I'm going to buy a whole lot of kits, even though I might not need them at that time. That's also an idea that we've sent out. Like, what if we want a more challenging STEM challenge, one that needs specific materials? We can send out a bag of materials to all our Husky STEM Club members and like do a group build using the same materials. That is definitely something we've talked and thought about. Again, thank you so much for joining us. This is our information. Feel free to email us if you have any more questions. More than happy to answer them and talk more about our program. This is just one little bit, but it's a pretty big bit for us, and we enjoy everything that we do.